This week on Hermitcraft.
Hermit Mene is running wild, brother!
Why did I agree to this?
Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is PixelRiffs, our writer is LoyXP, and Hermit Mania is running wild, baby. Really, the current state of the server is hard to describe as anything other than wilding out. Still on the quest to get the most player heads, the whitelist will have to endure Doc M, sending Etho to chase them out, Ren and his own deadly minigame, and the regular stresses of being a Minecraft YouTuber. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week.
Tango, I don't know how to do this intro.
Well, you just did, sir.
There we go.
Starting with false symmetry and the ambitious basement she's been grinding at for many live streams. As the wall design demands more and more stone-like materials, not helped by the furnaces being a key element, False is forced to slow down the build process just to clean out and flatten the inside area of the perimeter. At least the sea lanterns won't run out now that she has an established alliance with Impulse, even if their partnership only extends to winning the head games.
I think we can move up the leaderboard. I don't know if we can take first, but I have been collecting the heads as I said I would.
Oh man, Cleo's gonna hate me, and by me I mean, well, Impulse, but...
Zedaf settles for a much smaller hole in the ground, and he puts a storage unit in it. Sure helps that he doesn't have that many items anyway, though it is enough to lag a man out when thrown at the ground all at once.
Okay, maybe that was a bad idea. Oh well, let's continue with it now. That's a lot of items. This is literally my life. This is my life's work on the floor right now.
His Galaxy Brain Redstone series continues with the Magic Puddle, an infinite water source you can throw an empty bucket into to get a water bucket out. For all those times when your mouse isn't right-clicking right, I suppose. If you prefer your magic puddles one way, look no further than Vintage Beef's Courtyard Fountain, which has been hoppered to heck and now swallows any gold nuggets you want to throw into it, because the man needed more ways to experience gold at this point. He installs a fountain of a different kind at the nearby Sandstone Village, setting up a breeder inside a hospital building which provides a steady flow of villagers to the town. He's not worried about their safety, considering it'll just make more if too many get zombified, which is perhaps not the best attitude for a hospital to take, but there we go.
Parents, get your kids in front of the TV, they're about to learn something very important. This is where babies come from.
He's taking better care of his llamas, which are likely to be a better business investment. Searching far and wide to track down the varieties he doesn't have yet, he stakes out a plot in the commercial district for a shop which is likely to draw Etho's attention.
Llama-Rama will be built here, and it's going to be incredible. 12 diamond blocks. Let's try to make this look good.
And if that doesn't work, there's always the Bingler, an alternative search engine he builds near Etho's shulker searching storage system, which naturally doesn't work as well, but will probably try to set his homepage there anyway. Etho's attention is currently occupied by Iskal making attempts on his life.
Oh, look at this guy!
But in between these murderous pursuits, he plays a game no less dangerous, Stat Poker, a pastime he and Tango came up with while staring at a green shulker box. The rules are tied to the Minecraft statistics screen in the menu. Two players pull a random stat name out of the hat, then bet or fold on who has the highest score in the chosen category. The winner takes it all, and the loser curses themselves for not killing more villagers.
Okay.
You just call it?
And I'm going to let you know that my stat is 1, and I think I have you beat.
You do have me beat.
Yes! I'm thinking there's no way he killed a villager. No one kills villagers.
For now, the game only goes high, but the comments have been suggesting an additional randomizer for which way the stats go to add another element of surprise on a server filled with overachievers. Having pre-made several entertaining stat bets, the two of them introduced the game to the rest of the server with a bar built around it in the commercial district. Tango actually buys another plot later into the week, one with a much more direct approach to getting money out of people. It's the long overdue iron shop, and it's currently pushing the whole island deeper into the sea. While the environmental effect is unknown, it at least introduced accessible forged goods to the market, so his server mates can build their garage doors out of iron blocks again. His pushing on the ground is especially risky now that Azuma has cleared out a diamond strip mine right under the island. The rocks gathered from this diamond operation are then sold right back to the Hermitcraft public in the rock shop that X established on his side of the honeypot. An even bigger flex is him then moving the community diamond pile right next to the entrance so everyone has to come and visit, though at least he transforms it into a community beacon like the comments suggested they do for several weeks now. To make sure he won't run out of stock, back home Azuma throws together a universal Tnt Blast Chamber, which he plans to feed all sorts of farms into, but starts with a concrete mixer.
Time to work on the roof of our building. We really want to finish this thing off now and finish the interiors, and I came up with a design that I thought overall was pretty decent. However, we're not going to build the very last bit of it just yet.
But speaking of diamond relocation, Zombie Cleo finds a few blocks missing in the prize corner of the head game. Tipped off to this by her comments section, she pays a visit to her good friend Joe Hills to remind him what good friends they are and how peaceful a resolution this minor conflict will have.
Dolphin speed! Ow, I hit a wall!
I'll break your legs. I will break your legs.
Really, they do come to an agreement without much bloodshed. And speaking of a bloodshed, here's Cleo's own shed she keeps her custom head pallet in. This came at a bad time for Joe, who had just effectively sworn himself off diamonds for the season, convinced that they bring nothing but trouble. It turns out the absence of diamonds also brings trouble, because it's kinda hard to survive an abandoned mineshaft wearing chain armor, but once the cave spider bites have worn off, he tries to make amends by giving Cleo the coordinates to the next set of diamond ore he finds.
Boom! So now all we have to do is just take these coordinates here, and the recovery and physical therapy afterwards would likely be extensive and arduous, in addition to being a blow to my self-worth, which largely revolves around my appearance.
This anti-diamond philosophy might also backfire a little given this season's approach to the shopping district, but that pile of riches was getting a little too much love anyway. The head games in the meantime are being won big time, with Corrales leaping into the lead, much helped by his shadowy puppet master and all those bee heads. In a charitable mood and in need of return customers, Corrales tracks down the most loyal clients of his bookshop and drops a big fat shulker box of goodies on their porch, just to remind them that their favourite library is still open. Unfortunately, he's already sold them mending books for all of their equipment, so the chance of them coming back for more enchantments is pretty slim no matter how you bribe them. Perhaps it's an investment into his future industry, though one would argue if his construction company wanted advertising, a good idea would be to construct stuff, or at least construct it the whole way through.
I'm not a big fan of the scaffolding itself, like the bamboo texture. Not a big fan.
We Kid, of course, the intentionally half-finished skyscraper, is very charming. Feeling his throne being shaken, Cubfan jumps right back into the head games, even if it means getting his hands dirty.
So he's gonna pay me to kill me. Oh, psych! What? You can't do that! No!
It's Hypno's head bonus points day, so the two of them duke it out multiple times on the beach of his base, barefoot and barehanded. It doubles as getting rid of the competition, seeing as how Hypno was just grinding for sheep heads when Cub showed up, but I'm afraid it didn't work out exactly as planned, because Cub dropped ahead of his own as well, and guess who was on the bonus points board the very next day? Cub has had quite a few brushes with death this week. The open air wither fight comes to mind, but he killed it without even needing a bat head. All things considered, Cub is a bigger danger to himself, what with all the TNT blasting he's done to the desert. It's all in the name of the biggest gravestone on the server, a pyramid worth changing your skin for, though that's a sunburn just waiting to happen.
Yeah, I'm digging this.
Ijevin, in the meantime, has hit the bottom. He's hit many body parts actually, but for now we're talking about the bottom of the ocean. The base circle he established last week now gracefully descends to the gravelly depths and beyond in a glass cylinder. Extra care was taken to dry it out and flatten the insides because laughing in the face of the update aquatic is an art form. It is at this point that his past comes back to haunt him, and the fate of Pamela the cow is decided once and for all.
We're about to get ready to rumble! I missed the bell. I missed it.
Since resolving conflicts the old-fashioned way didn't work out for him, Rendog has decided to settle the literal beef between himself and Ijevin in a more modern way. Hell in a cell! Using the substantial profits from Big Logs Inc. to buy a plot for a wrestling arena in the shopping district, Ren dons the spandex, underpants, and larger-than-life persona of Triple R and founds the HWF, the Hermit Wrestling Federation. Two teams turn up for the grudge match, 4 hermits each side, each with varying levels of commitment to the bit, armed with knockback wooden swords and fishing rods. Each contestant flung from the ring tags in the next teammate, and they royally rumble until the last man standing.
Referee, get out the way!
Collateral damage.
And that man is Rendog, but not without his share of trickery, because in a meeting with the Goat Father, some strength potions may have been stashed under the ring in an attempt to swing the contest in Triple R's favour. It's the heel turn nobody saw coming, but Ren was willing to do anything to save his beloved Pamela.
Pamela, don't worry about that guy. He's really creepy. Let's go back to Loser Island. Come on, baby.
When Doc isn't muscling people around in the ring, he's flexing back at his base, although for now he'll have to make do with Misty Biome's fan art in place of the real Goat Mountain.
Mount Goatmore is still there. Gloriously, sun is setting. Beautiful.
But out at sea, his villager Tower of Power is taking shape. It now has vegetable farms, breeding modules, and a bona fide test of the alarm system.
Yep, it's him. Okay, let's see the alarm.
Yeah, he's in there. Oh, hey! Oh, no!
Dude, okay, that triggered instantly. Boof, off we go. Okay, and then I hear the alarm right now and I tap in. You know, and that's the footage you saw.
BOO trips the trap when eyeing up Doc's offshore operation, and once Doc's minecart track brought him back to the mainland, he takes off in pursuit of B-Dubs, only to lose him in the strip mine. But on further investigation, he realizes his slippery foe has rigged up a piston door escape route, and Dog rigs it to catch B-Dubs in cobwebs the next time around.
I'm excited to... Uh-oh. Hey, what is this? Hey, stop it. What sink me? Hey! Oh, he found it, didn't he? I think that I'm at the point now to where it's war.
His next target is Stress Monster, who's found it very profitable to trade in favors. After swapping 2 villagers with Scar for a landscaping IOU and some questionable crystals, Stress realizes she still has an IOU from Iskal, who, you'll remember from last week, is the current holder of Tag 2 Judgment Tag. With his scoreboard numbers climbing, Stress seizes the opportunity to cash in the favor, and Iskal reluctantly hands over the tag. At least the silver lining is he has her attention and can initiate her into Hermit challenges, although there's some confusion about how exactly it all works, and Mumbo has to step in, to a cauldron. He steps into a cauldron, you know.
This is so
Too close for
stupid.
comfort.
You can't give me both challenges, what?
Well, no, you throw yours to me.
Oh, all right.
Wait, did you have to do 10,000? I thought you had the good deeds one. What has just happened? I'm very confused.
Now charged with making a Swedish-themed episode, Stress Monster goes all out, setting her UI to Swedish, crafting a Swedish flag banner, and decorating her panic room in patriotic blue and yellow. Oh yeah, she has a panic room now. Realizing that the ongoing shenanigans of both the Headhunt and Tag 2 Tag Harder kinda paints a target on her back, she rigs up an escape tunnel where she can stand behind glass and watch her pursuers get splashed with poison potions, which is exactly where Doc M finds himself, making it the second redstone trap he's been bamboozled by this week.
Not again! Not again!
When he returns, Stress is adding insult to injury by building a giant skull in the jungle, but game recognized game, and Doc brings an offer to the table. Stress agrees to trade the tag for a diamond block and a promise of a favor from the Goat Father.
At the moment, it looks a little bit scary, don't it? Because we have 2 dark areas where the eyes are.
By this point, BOO has learned that the horse's head in his bed was meant to be a bad thing. To be fair, he's been getting mixed messages from the Goat Father, or at least from his hired assassin Etho, who seems to have chosen cake when offering B-Dubs cake or death. But his sweet tooth continues to get him in trouble when Grian and Scar appear and coax him into following them with a trail of chorus fruit and golden carrots.
Okay, what's the plan? We got the whole crew here. We got the chicken, we got you.
Yeah, the whole crew's here. Okay, what's the plan?
Okay, so golden carrots are expensive and basically the best food in the game, so what if we piece of candy trail him all the way to the guillotine, and then we just kind of drop it on him and bada bing bada boom, we win!
Oh, okay.
Alarm bells should have started ringing once they led him through the nether and into a literal guillotine, but B-Dubs didn't seem to mind giving up his head for the cause. This might still technically count as a PvP kill, so we're not sure it's worth the points, so we give them an A for effort, but an E for execution. B-Dubs, in the meantime, goes back to terraforming and house building like he's still got a head on his shoulders. The violence doesn't faze Scar either. He very naturally comes back to building a whimsical village of wonder and giant mushrooms that no one lives in because Scar hasn't bothered letting the villagers out yet. And it's a good thing he didn't, seeing as how that worked out for Grian.
I had literally the worst day imaginable.
Yep, that's villagers for you. To lift his spirits, Grian now has enough morale to take on the Wither in an airbound flying ballet of stabbing, which no doubt left a swarm of glitched Wither projectiles in low Earth orbit. Now armed with his personal beacon, he has less trouble gathering the avalanche of resources needed for his Mega Mansion build, and the work on it goes a lot faster. Though this too came at a price, and Grian has dropped an IOU at Impulse's Guardian shop, so that's definitely going to come back to bite him. Mumbo's Hermit Challenge swap also backfires, but the silver lining is that he was placing a whole lot of blocks anyway. In one fell 36-hour swoop, he builds the remaining 7 towers he's planned around the perimeter of his octagon base. This is not without incident, as he dies once while AFK, and after sending a care package to Grian for recovering his stuff, crushes himself and all his items in Iskal's gold farm.
And all of my tools, and quite a few shulker boxes of sand and light grey concrete that I was carrying on me that I thought in my head maybe I shouldn't carry these, maybe I should put them in an ender chest, and now they're gone.
Despite this, he bounces back and finishes the framework, although the filler material will have to wait. At least it'll have to wait a little less, since Iskal drops off a bunch of white concrete as a good deed, and Mumbo's iron farm is productive enough that even Doc M is dropping by to see if he can borrow a bucket or two. To celebrate quite how productive his villager district is, Mumbo outlines the perimeter with some ruined-looking villager heads, then makes a hedge maze out of the centre.
Seem to be taking on projects that take ridiculous amounts of time. That seems to be my thing at the minute.
Iskal's good deeds are all part of his own Hermit Challenge, but he seems to have set his own 10,000 block goal by himself, building up a huge section of the trunk of his jungle tree base. He can see Mumbo's base from here, but sadly this provides no insight into how the man's brain works.
This is the Challengers Burn Sticks. Alright, so what we're going to do, so Challengers Burn Sticks, if you want to be challenged, you just chuck down your churn sticks. You know that I want to be challenged. If we both want to be challenged, Hermit challenges. How does that sound?
Do I put down...
Transforming himself into Iskal Man to do some good deeds around the server, he creates a vault full of doors for good times with Scar, breeds a super rare brown panda which he drops off with Stress Monster, and does all of us a favour by swapping those slime blocks out for honey. Jokes aside, the tree is starting to look tremendous, and it's mostly thanks to his own log gathering efforts. Rendog is no longer using the tree farm since Big Logs has gone organic, and the Woody Woodpecker statue vintage beef built for him last week was no help whatsoever.
What in the world? I'm gonna call you Alan. Who's Alan? This is Alan.
As far as mega bases go, Impulse SV is also hot on their heels, as he not only expands the pyramid upwards, but also pushes it upwards, raising the entire platform by 1 block.
Guys, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. 1 block, the entire thing. You can see it. You can see where that used to be, and it's now up there.
Luckily for him, he knows a guy with a really big piston. By this point, it also contains a storage system, although thankfully he hadn't swung by XB Crafted's shop to pick up the redstone components quite yet. And he's been making a bunch of upgrades elsewhere, remodeling the Guardian farm so it drops them into the Nether, then brings the drops back into the Overworld, and modifying the Raid farm to clear itself out more effectively. This ultimately means that when he and False Symmetry want to dominate the headhunt competition, he's ready to drop a shulker box full of Illager heads into the mob head barrels.
I mean, it's gone okay. I got Cleo the other day.
Good.
But that wasn't too difficult. But yeah, and I got myself as well, which was extremely difficult.
You got
obviously.
yourself.
And finally, there's XB Crafted, who is either building for a group of survivors or a music festival, given the amount of tents and porta potties that have sprung up around the town of Kassa. But the Hermit Hollows section of town needs some love, and to incentivize his server mates to come build their own apocalypsified housing, XB sets up a brand new shop at the Commercial District, an anonymous build-off sign-up with a diamond block prize pool. With his remaining diamond blocks, he discovers a very Twilight Forest way of getting to Iskal's gold farm, and spends the rest of his time in the Nether flattening out a fortress for a Wither skeleton spawning pad. Putting in minimum effort since the Nether's going to be reset anyway, he grabs himself enough skulls for an easy cheesy Wither fight, then returns to the Overworld and builds a clubhouse for a group of pacified pillagers. At least it's a clubhouse and not, you know, a crossbow house. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixelriffs. If you want to see some slightly less friendly Illagers, I raided a Woodland Mansion in Skyblock this week, and that's in the End Screen Theatre. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.